Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. I'm a Christian YouTuber, and today's video I just want to talk really briefly about character assassination and how to deal with when your character, your identity is being attacked, especially your identity in Christ when that is being attacked. So to start off, this whole entire video was inspired by the book of Job. I'm just starting out reading it and I am floored. It is so good. At the beginning of Job, I noticed something that stuck out to me that really sparked me wanting to talk about this in the first place, which is the second conversation that the Lord had with Satan. And the Lord said, this is in Job chapter 2, I'm reading from verse 3. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil, and he still maintains his integrity." Remember that. He still maintains his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason. So, integrity. Essentially, when you are a child of God, people always try to come for your integrity and drag your name through the mud just to see your reaction and what you'll do. Basically to see if you'll act Christ-like or not. It's exactly what happens in Job. The Lord permitted it because he knew that Job would prevail and that it would give God glory and also show God's character and show just how true and just and righteous that he is and how evil and disgusting Satan is. One thing that really stuck out to me reading this was the word integrity, because it's mentioned not even 10 verses down. It's mentioned again, and it's Job's wife actually talking to Job now. If you haven't read the book of Job, I highly suggest that you read it, because like Job was going through it. Like, his kids died, all of his wealth was taken from him, all of his servants, like everything. In the blink of an eye, this man went from having so much to having absolutely nothing, including no family except for his wife. And so at this point now, after all of that being taken from him, his physical health was then being attacked. And Job's wife says to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die."
What? Oh no, she did not.
And this here I found so interesting, because the fact that she asked, "Are you still maintaining your integrity?" goes to show that that wasn't even her asking. That was Satan using her to try to get Job to abandon his integrity, because we fight not against flesh and blood. After reading that, you know, I kind of just sat, I kept reading, but I was thinking about it for like a good around 15-20 minutes afterwards. Like, I was just pondering on it, and I was like, wow, Job had no idea that that whole conversation went on with the Lord and Satan, and now here's his wife consequently asking the same exact thing. Yo, that was something. And that's also what Job's friends were attacking, was his character, you know, his integrity, because everybody knew Job to be a just man who fears the Lord. This entire chapter is the people who are closest to Job, who should have been encouraging him and uplifting him, instead attacking him and questioning if he is who he really says he is, and also assuming that they knew things about Job that he didn't, kind of putting themselves in the place of God, assuming that they knew Job's heart. We've all had someone in our life who assumes that they know something we don't about ourselves, or assumes that they know our lives when in reality they don't. With friends, you know, you assume that they know you better than most people, and a lot of the times it turns out they don't. They will put you in a box, and if you don't stay in that box that they put you in, and you go outside of that box into uncharted territory that their mind never thought of you in, then they kind of just, you know, donate the box, giveaway, Salvation Army, like, gone. When it comes to character assassination, dealing with it firsthand in real life, of course your first response is to respond in anger and, you know, clap back, especially in, you know, today's world of TikTok and exposing and, you know, spilling all dirty laundry and talking about people. Of course that's what you want to do because it feels good. At least for the moment, it feels good. After a while, it won't feel good and you will, you know, feel guilty about it because that's not the right thing to do. It's never the right thing to do. No matter how many people try to pretend it's okay, it's not okay. That's the first instinct, is to lash out and retaliate in doing the same thing. But if you do the same thing, then you're assassinating your own character. This was a very hard lesson for me to learn. But whenever someone does that to you or curses you in any way, shape, or form, bless them. Bless them and pray for them. And that that sounds bizarre. Just a little bit sounds bizarre. Also, if the lighting is changing, the sun's going down, so that's that. It sounds very bizarre to bless and pray for those who have dragged you through the mud, whether that's your name dragged through the mud, emotionally dragged through the mud, mentally dragged through the mud, just, you know, did not regard you in any way, shape, or form, and how you would feel or how you would think about, you know, certain situation or matter. But God says to bless people who do those things to you because, one, that gives you peace. It gives you a sense of peace knowing that you did your part, and knowing that you didn't do anything wrong to them after they showed that side of themselves to you, that you just let it go and gave it to God. Like, that in itself gives so much peace, because if you're doing the same thing back, slandering and gossiping about them and this and that, the next thing you know, you're praying, you're repenting, you're feeling guilty, and the devil is now starting to throw in shame and accuse you of so many other things. It opens a door for the devil to attack you. In blessing people, it protects you from the devil's attacks of shame and guilt and all of this mess. And instead, giving it to God, it gives you a sense of relief, because you just know God's going to do something about it. It's our part to pray and remain faithful and remain in his word and believe what he says, and he does the rest. It gets it off your chest and it takes the weight off of your shoulders. Your mind is freed, your heart is freed, you're not feeling any sort of way. That's the peace I'm talking about, by the way. The peace I'm talking about is freedom from that torment of overthinking, replaying the situation in your head, replaying what they said in your head, and all that mess. So blessing people when they do those things to you not only blesses you, but it also blesses them. You know, blessings just trickle out, and that's why God tells us to do these things, because he has our best interests at heart, and he also has the other person's best interest at heart as well, because God is just, you know, he's not going to just take one person's side. He loves those people just as much as he loves his children. So seeing things from that viewpoint changes your perspective, because if you were to do the opposite and curse someone who maybe did something to you that didn't sit well with you, that essentially turns into a curse on yourself, because there's no peace in that. You're going to be tormented, you know, mentally, emotionally, because that's opening doors for the enemy to come in and mess things up. So yeah, whenever someone is assassinating your character, pray for them. Yeah, that was today's video about character assassination, how to deal with it, and how to get past it and find peace. Although someone's, you know, dragging you through the mud, as long as you have peace and you have God, you're good. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And I hope that for those who are struggling with dealing with character assassination, that maybe this helps a little bit on how to deal with it, you know, what to do, and also how to go to God. I don't really say how, that's up to you, that's between you and God, but as long as you go to him, that's what matters, in reverence, of course, and with respect, and to keep in mind that he loves the other person just as much as he loves you. And we'll see you guys when I see you. You have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. Bye.